Everyone, this is Dr. Mama Ghazal. Today in this video, we will talk about photochemistry. Photochemistry is concerned with the absorption, excitation, and emission of photons by atoms and atomic ions, molecules, molecular ions, etc. And the simplest photochemical process, which is seen with the absorption and subsequent emissions of photon by a gas phase atoms such as sodium. So when we are talking about photochemistry, so first we have to know that what is photochemistry actually. Photochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of photochemical reactions which are said to be comes under photochemistry. And the reactions which takes place by absorption of the visible and ultraviolet radiations is called a photochemical reaction. So when we are talking about photochemistry, we should know about the reactions which are going to take place in photochemistry, those reactions which are taking place in presence of light or solar energy, solar light. The photochemical reaction is a kind of a chemical reaction triggered when light energy is absorbed by a substance molecules. The very famous example of photochemical reaction is photosynthesis. And when we are talking about the when light energy is absorbed by a substance molecule and the molecule and the chemical reaction is going to be executed, which responds to the to leads to the molecules to experience a temporary excited state and then again altering to their physical and chemical properties from the substance initial molecules. The photochemical reaction is none other than a chemical reaction that starts with light being absorbed as a form of energy. Here are some of the examples which are given to understand better what is actually the photochemical reactions are. The very famous and a common reaction of a photochemical process is a photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means like when the green plants, seaweeds, algae, and certain bacteria absorb solar energy and utilize it to convert the atmospheric carbon dioxide to carbohydrates in presence of water. Another very famous example of photochemical reaction is vitamin D. Vitamin D, which is required for bone and teeth development and even functioning of kidney while helping skin growth, is the chemical which is said to be 7-dehydrocholesterol produced after exposure to sunlight. The another example is ultraviolet rays, which are harmful to human DNA, and skin cancer are caused by photochemical reactions. When your body is come in under the exposure of sunlight, then the UV rays are inserting in the skin, and after that they are giving different kinds of infections, which leads to skin cancer also. Some of the activities of our daily life which we are encountering to understand better the photochemical reaction is said to be xerography, photography, and different kinds of other photochemical processes, just like some complex activities like manufacturing of semiconductor chips, the printing of newspapers, which are done by UV rays only. So these are some of the photochemical reactions which are taken under consideration to understand better what are the photochemical reactions are and what kind of a photochemical process is going on. Whenever you are having a molecule, that molecule which exhibit one photon of light, and after that it is starting the whole chemical reaction. So that chemical reaction is said to be the photochemical reaction. Here are some of the examples which are related to chemistry, in which you can see the examples of photochemical reactions or photochemical process when the decomposition of hydrogen into halide or the decomposition of hydrogen bromide in presence of light, it's decomposed into hydrogen and bromine, which is an example of a photochemical reaction. Another reaction when you are having the decomposition of ammonia in presence of light photon, that H nu represents the one light photon, and now it is decomposed into nitrogen and hydrogen. Another example of a photochemical reaction is the decomposition of acetone in presence of light energy. When it is decomposed, so this is said to be a means photochemical reaction. Every reaction which is taking place when comes under consideration when in the presence of light or one photon of light, then it is said to be the photochemical reaction only. Photochemical combination of hydrogen and halogens to form hydrogen halides is another example. And when we are talking about the isomerization of malic acid to fumic acid, which is also gives an idea about the photochemical reaction is going to be happen there. Now we are going to talk about kinds of reactions. We are having two different kinds of reaction. One is thermochemical reaction, another is photochemical reaction. Thermochemical reaction, by its name, you can see that in presence of temperature or heat, or these reactions are said to be the dark reactions also, because these reactions are brought about molecular collision, and these reactions are the spontaneous reactions which are accompanied by a decrease in a free energy. Free energy is that energy which is the ability of a system to perform work. So when we are talking about these thermochemical reactions, there are some certain photochemical reactions are also accompanied by an increase in free energy. On the other hand, if we are going to talk about photochemical reactions which are taking place into 2 steps and 3 steps, just like a synthesis or a mechanism in which we are going to, we are having to observe about the reacting molecules which are activated once they are getting the 1 photon of light. In the second step, the activated molecules undergo a photochemical change. For example, we can take here the combination of hydrogen and chlorine, the first step, or the combination of hydrogen and bromine. So in that way, we are having an idea about how the photochemical reactions proceeding further. So the activated chlorine atom, which undergoes chemical reactions, and it is evident from this particular reaction that the second step can occur in absence of light. So for every photochemical reaction which is occurring, the very first step is very important. Why? Because there is an observe of 1 photon of light. After that, if that particular reaction consisting of 3 or 4 steps, in that they can be proceed with the absence of light also. So there are some of the characteristics of a photochemical reaction. Like photochemical reaction can only be taking place by the absorption of light. When a light composing number of colors which is used, the photochemical reaction may not be initiated by all colors. And the free energy change, which we are denoting by a symbol del G, of a photochemical reaction might be possible. It is sometimes negative or positive. So now we are going to talk in deep about the difference between photochemical reactions and thermochemical reactions. If we are talking about thermal reactions or thermochemical reactions, the energy of activation is acquired by heat. And in photochemical reactions, energy is gained by the absorption of light. Another difference is the rate of thermal reaction depends on the temperature, while the rate of photochemical reaction is independent of temperature. Because when we are talking about photochemical reactions that are totally related to the light energy or light photon, they are not related to temperature in any condition. However, the photochemical reaction rates does depend on the intensity of the radiations which are used. And all thermal reactions proceeds with a decrease in free energy, but certain photochemical reactions proceeds with an increase in free energy. For example, photosynthesis in plants. This is so because the energy of radiation gets converted into free chemical energy of the product. The last difference is in comparison with thermal reactions, photochemical activation is selective, and the absorbed photon of radiation excites an appropriate bond or group of atoms, which becomes a site for the reaction. So for today, I am concluding. Now, if you like this video, so please subscribe, share, and like my channel. In my next video, we will talk about the various photochemical laws which are responsible for conducting different photochemical reactions. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.